Hello and welcome to the show. Today, you know what? You're in for an exciting treat. We have a great guest with us today. Today, we're talking with Melerick Mitchell. He's an author, speaker, and sought-after corporate trainer. And today, he's going to share some great principles with us. Melerick, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Chris.
Man, I'm excited to have you here.
Yes.
You know, I've heard so much about the work that you're doing and the great work that you're doing in helping to just really inspire people, motivate people, and get them beyond where they currently are in life, but get them to that next best place.
Yes.
So first of all, before we get into all that you do, who is Melerick Mitchell?
So I would say I'm a talent development trainer, developer, engineer still at heart, also a community activist.
Yeah.
I believe in supporting our community.
Yeah.
So I would say those three things.
Man, okay, let's delve into it because I want to really get into this whole corporate training piece.
Yes.
Because many times when folks think about corporate training, they really don't totally understand what all that encompasses. Right. So break that down for us and tell us specifically how you really go into corporations and really move their people beyond where they currently are.
All right, so I focus on helping companies develop their leadership pipeline. Yeah. And so that can be from early in career through senior leaders. And oftentimes I'm working with the senior leadership team. So I don't know if you've ever been on a team where people aren't talking to each other, right? You have all these silos, and I help organizations bring those silos down.
Okay.
Because where there's silos, you don't have communication.
Right.
Because I'm protecting this, and we're not talking, we're not sharing. And the organization and the company cannot grow when you don't have good leadership, good communication, and you reach that kind of like a lid. So then oftentimes I'll see an organization or a team only get so far, and there's also a little bit of turmoil there because they're not sharing information.
Yeah.
So I help them to be a better team, create better leaders, help them to create that pipeline from bottom to the top.
Okay, you talked about the silos. One of the things you have a saying, the silos go down, conversations go up.
Yes.
Delve into that. I mean, you may have just explained that, but I really like that terminology.
Yeah, so for example, one of the teams I was working with, they've been around for a while, and they were not talking with each other. They said, Mel, can you come in and just help us? We're not hitting our mark. I said, okay, no problem. And what I did through just a series of offsites is help them to define who they are and also share who they are between each other.
Right.
Because a lot of times people know each other, but they don't know each other because they're not sharing.
Right.
But as that relationship grows, they begin to trust each other. And trust is the foundation for all teams.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I really hope that as you're viewing this today, Mel and I are talking about what he does with corporations, but this also applies in your personal relationships. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about how you can apply this into your relationships with your spouse, your family members, or friends, or your colleagues at work. It's going to help you move beyond where you are. Stay with us. We'll be back with Melerick Mitchell in just a moment.
CEOs, nonprofit executives, and newly published authors. You have tried everything to get in front of the media. You've hired a publicist. You've designed your media kit and spent thousands on press releases and media advisories. But to no avail. You know that video produces 86% more credibility than copy, but you're not getting in front of those cameras. Chris Howell Communications is offering a solution. We're giving you a unique opportunity to sit down with a veteran broadcast journalist underneath the lights in front of 3 cameras, accompanied by a professional makeup artist. We'll even edit your video and deliver back to you your broadcast-ready media interview. You can display it on your website, post it to social media, share it with media planners, and deliver it to newsrooms to give them a taste of your story the way only you can tell it. And once you have great footage, the cameras will keep coming. Get the media attention your business needs and your story deserves. Contact us today to reserve your space at chrishowellcommunications.com/interview.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Hello, I'm Chris Howell. With over 2 decades of being in broadcast and media, I understand the importance of great media exposure. And we want to offer you a unique opportunity. The opportunity to sit one-on-one to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to get on large stages and to sit with national media companies or newsrooms. We're going to give you that opportunity. we're going to give you the opportunity to pay a small fee to sit one-on-one. We're going to then package that interview in a way that will get you in front of newsrooms or newsroom directors. We're going to package that in a way that will allow you to get in on some of those stages that you've been trying to get on. Because many times folks want to see how you will respond on camera. So what this interview will do is give you the opportunity to allow them to hear you tell your story in a way that only you can tell it. But then it will also show them how you will respond on camera, thereby allowing you to get the media exposure you've been searching for. So go to the website, chrishowellcommunications.com. chrishowellcommunications.com is the website. Go there, register today to reserve your seat, and I look forward to sitting with you one-on-one. Welcome back. Today we're talking with Melerick Mitchell. We're talking with Melerick today about how when silos go down, conversations go up. And we're really having a great conversation. So if you're just joining us, you just tuned in at the right moment. Melerick, we talked a moment ago about you going into corporations and helping them understand that these silos have to come down in order for conversations to come up. But we also talked about the fact that that applies in our everyday life, in our relationships with our spouse and work colleagues and others. Talk about that a little bit more and how that applies in our relationships.
Yeah, so oftentimes in relationships, you get a lot of misunderstandings, right? Doesn't matter if you're long distance or close to each other, there's a lot of misunderstandings, and oftentimes it's because of lack of good conversation.
Yeah.
And sharing what's the intent of what you want to do. And also providing just a little bit of background on why you're doing what you're doing. And so all of that comes about from having great conversations.
Yeah, because many times the wife, she doesn't understand why the husband's doing what he's doing. He doesn't understand why she's doing it. But it means sitting down at the table and understanding that you have differences. But until you begin to conversate with one another, you don't understand why those differences are occurring or how you can enhance each other through those differences.
Yes. And I think the other part that's key to having those good conversations is being malleable. Right? And not being very rigid, almost being like clay. The only way that you can use clay is when it's soft, right? And when it's hard, you can't form anything out of it.
Right.
And so having that flexibility there helps both in the relationship, because if the other person doesn't feel like they can talk to you, they're like, oh, that person's never listening, blah, 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 right? But if they know that you're receptive and you actually take in what they're saying, then you can have a more enrichful conversation, be it with your spouse, or your kids, with your coworkers, because they know that you're receptive to what they're saying. Yeah,
that's good information. I want to talk about this a little bit in terms of when you're sitting down, bringing these silos down, it helps you to achieve the goals that you set out.
Yes.
Because many times we'll come together as a team to form these goals, but then we'll all go off to our own separate corners and no one's really communicating on how we're going to move forward.
Yes.
So talk about how you really help folks to really maintain that process of goal setting and achieving.
Right, so there are a couple parts there. So one, when you're looking at setting goals, I see that there's three primary parts to each goal. One, you have to have clarity. Be really clear on what it is that you're going for, why you're going for it, and why it's important. The other part is have a structure around it. What are the actions, the habits, the things that you need to do to continue to go forward on that?
Yeah.
And then the third part is create a feedback loop. And it goes back to the conversations. How are you going to take feedback in? Because if you were driving from here to Boston, you're going to check your map, right? Same type of thing when you're going for your goals. You have to create kind of like a feedback process, and who's going to provide that good feedback to you? And so again, it's built upon those conversations and on that trust.
Right.
And then to cascade that down into your company or organization, one, get everybody that's part of the leadership team on the same page.
Okay.
And then they tell the same exact story.
Man. No, go. You expound on that some more.
And with that story, it needs to be simple. Right? Sometimes I look at some companies' mission statements, and it's like 2 paragraphs long. I'm like, nobody can remember that. But if you're if you're concise and straight to the point, say, hey, our primary goal this year is to do X. Everything that we're going to do is going to be focused on X. The people that we hire, the way that we plan our projects, the way we spend our money is all towards the same goal. Everybody will get it.
Man, I'm loving that.
But clarity is key.
I hope as you listen to him, you understand. I mean, a lot of you hear it, you feel his energy, and you may think that he's a motivational speaker. He's really a motivational teacher, and we're going to talk about the difference in the two when we come back. Stay with us.
CEOs, nonprofit executives, and newly published authors. You have tried everything to get in front of the media. You've hired a publicist. You've designed your media kit and spent thousands on press releases and media advisories. But to no avail. You know that video produces 86% more credibility than copy, but you're not getting in front of those cameras. Chris Howell Communications is offering a solution. We're giving you a unique opportunity to sit down with a veteran broadcast journalist underneath the lights, in front of 3 cameras, accompanied by a professional makeup artist. We'll even edit your video and deliver back to you your broadcast-ready media interview. You can display it on your website, post it to social media, share it with media planners, and deliver it to newsrooms to give them a taste of your story the way only you can tell it. And once you have great footage, the cameras will keep coming. Get the media attention your business needs and your story deserves. Contact us today to reserve your space at chrishowellcommunications.com/interview.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Hello, I'm Chris Howell. With over 2 decades of being in broadcast and media, I understand the importance of great media exposure. And we want to offer you a unique opportunity. The opportunity to sit one-on-one to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to get on large stages and to sit with national media companies or newsrooms. We're going to give you that opportunity. We're going to give you the opportunity to pay a small fee to sit one-on-one. We're going to then package that interview in a way that will get you in front of newsrooms or newsroom directors. We're going to package that in a way that will allow you to get in on some of those stages that you've been trying to get on. Because many times folks want to see how you will respond on camera. So what this interview will do is give you the opportunity to allow them to hear you tell your story in a way that only you can tell it, but then it will also show them how you will respond on camera, thereby allowing you to get the media exposure you've been searching for. So go to the website, chrishowellcommunications.com. chrishowellcommunications.com is the website. Go there, register today to reserve your seat, and I look forward to sitting with you one-on-one. Welcome back to the show. Today we're having a great conversation with Melerick Mitchell. He's a sought-after corporate trainer, author, speaker, and the founder of Drive Influence LLC. And we're talking with him today about how we set goals and how we communicate with our spouse, but we also want to make sure that we distinguish the difference. He's not a motivational speaker, he's a motivational teacher. There is a difference. Melerick, before we went to break, we talked about the fact that we're going to tell folks what's the difference between a motivational speaker and a motivational teacher.
Okay, so motivational speakers. We've all been to different events where you go and hear a speaker and you're really, really excited.
Yeah.
I mean, you're hyped.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, you're like,
Where'd that energy go?
yeah, right? But what do I do now?
Yes.
Right? But a motivational teacher, yes, I do provide the motivational part.
Yes.
But my goal is when you leave one of my sessions, events, that you can go do something. I want you to have the steps to where you can move your company forward, to where you can grow your career. Whatever it is that you want to go do, I've provided that information to you and a structure around it.
Man. So yeah, you've given them a map, a tool
Yes.
that you can actually make it happen.
Correct.
Regardless of what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So whether they want to write a book,
Yes.
whether they want to start a business,
Correct.
you give us the tools.
Run a business, lead their team. So for example, one of the teams I work with, they like the fact that I hold them to task, right? So we do a series of workshops and sessions for them.
Okay.
And we'll break it down and say, okay, what are the top things you're working on? Why is it important, right? Going back to that process again. And they say, Mel, we like it because we know exactly what we're going to go do.
Yeah.
And then they share that information with others in the organization. Also, I have them to present it to their direct reports. So when they do a large event, could be their all hands, I say, this is one of the things you're going to present there. They say, oh man, I don't want to. I say, hey, I'm your coach also. I'm going to push you a little bit past where you always feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But that's where we grow
Getting out of
in that
comfort zone.
uncomfortable stage.
Man.
Yes.
So we talked a lot about you doing corporate training. And many times when folks hear corporate training, they think, well, okay, my company doesn't quite fit his criteria.
Yes.
But you work with small business owners
Yes.
as well.
Correct.
I mean, those who have 10, 15 employees, they
Yes,
can apply
yes.
these same principles, right?
Yes, they do, because leadership is leadership.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the size of your company. Leadership is leadership.
Okay.
And leading your company doesn't matter if you have 15 or 1,500 employees. The principles still apply. And for myself, I have a passion when it comes to small businesses because I grew up here in Dallas, and my parents have owned their own business for, 40 plus years.
Yeah.
And so I grew up in that environment. I know some of the struggles that small businesses have.
Yeah.
And I want to see them succeed.
Yeah.
And small businesses, that's what runs the country.
Right.
They employ the most folks. And so my goal is to help them to grow and not just be kind of successful, but to be highly successful in what they do. And so helping them with being able to structure their goals, to be able to help them with when it comes to hiring, and also having those conversations with their teams and developing people.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about this. We've talked about you not being a motivational speaker, but a motivational teacher.
Yes.
And you talked about the coaching aspect of it. What would you say is your unique coaching style?
So I would say one of my unique coaching styles is, one is the questions that I ask people, right? Because the harder your question or the more in-depth your question, the better solution you'll come up with. The other part is sometimes there's some consulting in there.
Yeah.
I say, hey, I've seen X, Y, and Z. These are some things, would you consider these items? They say, I hadn't thought of those.
Right.
And I'll have them to build on those.
Okay.
Because again, when they leave, they need to be able to go do something.
Right.
And so I would say those are some of the unique items when it comes to my coaching style.
Yeah. And I would think, you being able to go into so many different corporations and seeing so many different operations, you have, I guess, a bird's eye view, so to speak, on how corporate America works and how business is structured. So just having that insight makes you very valuable to anyone that you're sitting with and coaching them.
Correct. Yeah. And the other aspect is, it's just not about looking at their business, but I want to help them grow.
Yeah.
I want to help them grow because when it comes to careers, they say oftentimes now and today we're going to have at least 7 or 8, maybe 10 different careers.
Man.
So I'm helping them to develop a core set of skills that can span not just doing one job, but multiple jobs.
Yeah. When you talk about that growth, you also have a book, and we want to talk about that groundbreaking book in just a moment. It's entitled Kinetic Life. What led you to write this book?
So Kinetic Life is it's written as a parable.
Okay.
And so it's written based upon a lot of the coaching career-related conversations I had. So when I worked at Microsoft, I led their talent development programs. And one of the key things I ran was a leadership development program for new college hires. And so every month I would have about 20 to 30 career-related coaching conversations. So over 4 years, I did over like 1,000 plus career conversations.
Okay.
And I started to see some patterns in there, and I was like, wow, people need to hear about this. Because oftentimes we're not told this in school, from our mentors. There's that gray area like, oh, it's a gotcha. But if you can help them earlier, can be successful.
Break it down. Give us a little bit more insight right before we go to break, because I really think that there's something in this book that really can apply to everyone's life. And you're hitting at it.
Yeah.
I can sense that you're hitting at it, but I sense that you're holding something back. Give us the scoop.
So the short is how to align your heart, head, and body.
How to align your heart, head, and body. And
Yes.
when you do that, I think you become a whole person. Is that correct?
Correct. Whole
You know
person.
what? We're going to give you more of that. I want him to give it all to you now. We're going to give you more of that when we come back. Stay with us.
CEOs, nonprofit executives, and newly published authors. You have tried everything to get in front of the media. You've hired a publicist. You've designed your media kit and spent thousands on press releases and media advisories. But to no avail. You know that video produces 86% more credibility than copy. But you're not getting in front of those cameras. Chris Howell Communications is offering a solution. We're giving you a unique opportunity to sit down with a veteran broadcast journalist underneath the lights in front of 3 cameras, accompanied by a professional makeup artist. We'll even edit your video and deliver back to you your broadcast-ready media interview. You can display it on your website, post it to social media, share it with media planners, and deliver it to newsrooms to give them a taste of your story the way only you can tell it. And once you have great footage, the cameras will keep coming. Get the media attention your business needs and your story deserves. Contact us today to reserve your space at chrishowellcommunications.com/interview.
Thank you. got a king?
Go fish. In your face, in your face.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Hello, I'm Chris Howell. With over 2 decades of being in broadcast and media, I understand the importance of great media exposure. And we want to offer you a unique opportunity. The opportunity to sit one-on-one to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to tell your story. You've been searching for a way to get on large stages and to sit with national media companies or newsrooms. We're going to give you that opportunity. We're going to give you the opportunity to pay a small fee to sit one-on-one. We're going to then package that interview in a way that will get you in front of newsrooms or newsroom directors. We're going to package that in a way that will allow you to get in on some of those stages that you've been trying to get on. Because many times folks want to see how you will respond on camera. So what this interview will do is give you the opportunity to allow them to hear you tell your story in a way that only you can tell it, but then it will also show them how you will respond on camera, thereby allowing you to get the media exposure you've been searching for. So go to the website, chrishowellcommunications.com. chrishowellcommunications.com is the website. Go there, register today to reserve your seat, and I look forward to sitting with you one-on-one. Hello and welcome back. I hope you've been with us the entire show because we've been talking with Melerick Mitchell today, and he's a sought-after corporate trainer. He's an author, he's a speaker, and he's the founder of Drive Influence LLC. And it's been an awesome conversation. Right before we went to break, we talked about your groundbreaking book, Kinetic Life. Yes. We talked about the fact in this book, you help folks to connect their heart, mind,
Heart, head, and body.
Heart, head, and body. Well,
yes.
Head is in the mind, I guess.
yes.
Just like somebody trying to always fix it up.
Yeah.
Talk about that, because I think when you help us to align those things, I mean, you help us to become that whole person, to become ultimately who we were created to be.
Yes. And so again, to kind of dive into each of those parts a little bit. Mm-hmm. So within your heart, you have your passion, purpose, and audacious goals. Mm. Within your head, you have your focus and influence, because where you place your focus changes your thoughts, right?
Okay.
And then with your body takes action. Mm-hmm. So to dive even more into it, so when you understand what's in your heart, that's what motivates you. That's what's going to wake you up early in the morning. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to get you excited about what you do and drive you forward.
Yes.
So if you understand what you're passionate about, what you're excited about, to the point to where, when I say passions, I want you to think about things that are, if it was removed from your life, you will feel a void.
Wow. Okay.
Right? So if you look at like the great that are out there, like the ones that develop technology, if you say, you know what, you can no longer learn about technology. So, that would be hard, right?
Yeah.
It'd be like telling Stevie Wonder, no more music. And he'd be like, can't do that.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I want when you think about your passion, your purpose. Why do you have that passion? God's given us that passion for it, and there's a purpose for it.
Okay.
On how to use that. So think about what's your purpose. And then what's that audacious goal? Now, audacious goal is a goal that's so big that it scares you.
Yeah.
Right? If it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough.
Yeah,
it's not big enough. Right? It's a goal that you're going to require help to get there. But it's also a goal that's going to force you to grow.
Yeah. Bring you out of your comfort zone.
Bring you out of your comfort zone, because when you start your journey, you're at one point, but then when you're at the other end of the journey, you've grown and stretched and done so many other different things.
Okay.
And I even use these techniques with people that I coach. And so with the companies, so one of my companies that I work a lot with is based in Vegas.
Yes.
And I've used these 3 principles even to help them develop their teams.
Okay.
Because oftentimes if you ask them, say, hey, what's the primary purpose of our team? If you have 7 people on a team, you're going to either get 5 or 9 answers.
Man.
Because some people go, I don't know, it's A or B.
Yeah, they've forgotten along the way.
Yeah, and then some will say, I don't know.
Yeah.
But once you're able to get everybody back on that same page, understanding what that purpose is, your organization is so much stronger and better.
You know, but as I hear you talk, you say organization, but even as I hear you talk about this, I just can't help but think how it could even help individuals even in their lives, and even in their personal relationships. You know, because you're talking about connecting your heart, your head,
and your body.
I mean, that's the whole person.
Yes, it is.
So what puts you down this path to say, you know what, this is what I feel folks really need help with most, to put it in the book?
Yes. I want to see people live a life that they desire, that motivates them, that excites them. And that's why I came up with those 3 concepts. And it's also another way that I came about coming up with this is just asking myself, can you apply the laws of physics to real life? And that's part of the background in there also, because it's a process. And so being able to understand that process is important. But also, if you know what's motivating you, what's motivating a relationship, what's the purpose of that relationship, you can work better as a team, as a couple, as a group. It's not just kind of important, it's highly important. Because we're not here just to float through life. We're here to do something.
You know, as I hear you talk about this, and I'm seeing you, and I'm looking in your eyes, and I'm seeing a guy born and raised here in Dallas, a native of Dallas, Texas. Where does this passion, this drive come from for you to do what you do?
Right. So as I look back on kind of like my career in life, there's always been two things. One, I've always liked technology, but I've always been able to work with people to help them create whatever it might be. It might be, as a kid, build a clubhouse or build a business. It doesn't matter, right? It's a wide range. And people always have felt comfortable around me and would ask me, hey, Mel, how do I do X? Or ask me questions around careers. And I've always also helped when I worked at Raytheon, when I worked at Microsoft and Bechtel, to recruit and help develop interns or new college hires. And I believe for myself, it's just about giving back. It's about leaving a legacy. It's about helping others be successful, highly successful. You know, I remember,
I like that. You didn't just leave it as successful. You said highly successful.
Highly successful. I remember when I was at UNLV, and I was working on campus, and one of my students was kind of indecisive on their major. I said, hey, you know what, you should major in engineering. I helped them to get a job, and then they were an engineer for like 20 years afterwards. Because of just simple conversations. I've done the same thing with folks when I was, you know, like as I mentioned earlier at Microsoft, and even in what I'm doing today with Drive Influence. Where we help people to achieve their goals. We help organizations to achieve their goals.
You know, Anna, as I, you know, just hearing you talk, and you've listed a number of companies, Raytheon, Microsoft, and all these, you know, Fortune 500 companies that you've worked for, that you could have easily just said, you know what, I'm going to go there, I'm going to collect a check, I'm going to retire from there and be comfortable. But you saw something more, and you thought, you know what, let me get out and actually help people. Let me take what I've learned to help others move beyond where they are. And I appreciate you for that. I mean, that's the purpose and thrust of this show. It's to share principles and ideas with others that can help them move beyond where they are. And we've talked a lot about corporations today and organizations, but I believe that someone will take this information and apply it in their life and in their relationships, and move those relationships beyond where they are into a better place. And I like what you said a moment ago. You didn't just say success, but they would have great success. That's what we want them to have.
So, most definitely.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, sir.
Man, I hope you really enjoyed the show today. And if you came in at some point and didn't catch it from the beginning, then you know what? Go to chrishowellcommunications.com, catch it online, catch it on our YouTube channel, and get the entire conversation with Melerick Mitchell. And look him up. Go to his website as well. It's right here on the screen for you. Be sure to go to his website. If you've got an organization or corporation that could use and benefit from the knowledge that this guy has, you want to be sure to bring him in. And his book, Kinetic Life. I think it will certainly help you move beyond where you are. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.